Have you ever wondered why, despite being the perfect gentleman, your relationships still seem to fall flat? You're polite, attentive, and always available. You check every box that conventional wisdom says should make you irresistible. Yet here you are, stuck in the friend zone, overlooked. Or worse, feeling like your kindness is being taken for granted. Frustrating, isn't it? Here's the truth. What if the very thing you thought was your strength is actually your weakness? What if your relentless niceness is holding you back, preventing genuine attraction from forming? The world often tells us that women want a nice guy. But what if nice by itself isn't enough? Today we're diving deep into a powerful philosophy, Stoicism, to uncover how you can transform your approach to relationships. We're not asking you to abandon kindness or become someone you're not. Instead, we'll explore how to embody kindness with strength, authenticity, and purpose. By the end of this journey, you'll not only understand why being too nice can sabotage your efforts, but you'll also learn actionable steps to ignite genuine connection and respect. This isn't just about romantic success. It's about reclaiming your confidence and living a life true to your values. Ready to break free from the nice guy trap? Let's dive in. 1. Being nice isn't everything. Picture this. You meet someone who catches your eye. She's smart, funny, and beautiful. Naturally, you decide to show her just how kind and considerate you are. You're always there to lend a hand, listen to her problems, and offer compliments. But despite all your efforts, she doesn't see you the way you hoped. Instead, she's dating someone who doesn't seem nearly as nice as you. Why? What's he got that you don't? Here's where it gets interesting. While kindness is an admirable quality, it doesn't automatically create attraction. Think about this. Would you be impressed if someone helped you with no clear sense of boundaries, simply because they expected something in return? Exactly. Women value respect and virtue, but attraction is driven by more than just polite behavior. It's sparked by confidence, intrigue, and a sense of purpose. Let's look at this through the lens of Stoicism. This ancient philosophy teaches us that our actions should stem from virtue and integrity, not from the desire for a specific outcome. Marcus Aurelius, a key figure in Stoicism, reminds us that we must act rightly without expecting anything in return. When you're kind, let it be because it aligns with your values, not because you're secretly hoping it will earn you affection. Imagine this scenario. You buy her coffee, offer to help with her work, or always say yes to plans that fit her schedule. While these gestures might seem thoughtful, they can also come across as desperate if your underlying motive is to win her over. The truth is, such actions often lack the spark needed for romantic chemistry. She may appreciate you as a friend, but without more dynamic qualities like assertiveness or clarity of intent, attraction is unlikely to follow. Now, let's flip the script. Instead of being nice with hidden expectations, practice being kind because it reflects who you are. Combine this with confidence and make your intentions clear. For instance, if you like her, don't just show it through passive gestures. Tell her. Be direct. A woman values a man who isn't afraid to stand firm in his desires, even if that means facing rejection. Does this feel like a challenge? Good. Growth often does. Ask yourself, are you genuinely kind, or are you playing a role to get a specific result? When you remove hidden motives, your kindness becomes more powerful, genuine, and self-assured. This is the kind of kindness that commands respect and builds real connections. Your turn. If this resonates, leave a comment below with the words, "Stop being nice." Let's start this journey together, reshaping how we approach relationships with wisdom and confidence. 2. Don't hide who you are. Have you ever caught yourself acting differently around a woman you're interested in? Maybe with your friends, you're lively, cracking jokes, and full of energy. But when she's around, you suddenly become overly polite, reserved, and agreeable. You think, if I don't rock the boat, she'll see how great I am. But let me ask you this. Are you being true to yourself, or are you playing a role? The truth is, women are incredibly perceptive. They can sense when someone isn't being genuine. When you suppress your true personality to fit what you think she wants, you create a disconnect. She's not interacting with the real you, but rather a watered-down version of yourself. And that's not attractive. Authenticity, on the other hand, is magnetic. Imagine how freeing it would feel to be unapologetically yourself. Think about how your best conversations flow effortlessly with friends. You're confident, you share your thoughts without hesitation, and you're fully present in the moment. Why should it be any different when you're with her? Let's turn to Stoicism for guidance. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Never esteem anything as of advantage to you that will make you break your word or lose your self-respect." In relationships, this means staying true to your values and nature. Don't compromise your authenticity for the sake of approval. Here's the irony. When you stop trying so hard to impress, you become more impressive. Authenticity breeds trust, and trust is the foundation of attraction. If you're always agreeing with her opinions or avoiding topics you're passionate about, you come across as passive. But when you show your true self, your interests, quirks, and even your flaws, you become someone she can connect with on a deeper level. Consider this scenario. You're out on a date, and she mentions she loves a particular type of music. You've never been a fan, but instead of faking enthusiasm, you say, I've never really gotten into that. What do you like about it?" This response shows two things. You're honest about your preferences, and you're curious about hers. Authenticity combined with genuine interest is a powerful combination. But what if your true self isn't what she's looking for? Good. That's not a loss, it's clarity. Not every connection is meant to turn into a relationship, and that's perfectly fine. By staying true to yourself, you ensure that any relationship you do build is based on mutual respect and genuine compatibility. The beauty of authenticity is that it allows you to attract the right people, those who appreciate you for who you are. So drop the act. Embrace your individuality. Show her the same confident, vibrant person your friends see. If she's the right match, she'll be drawn to you naturally. If not, you've lost nothing but the illusion of a connection that was never meant to be. Are you ready to let go of the need to please and step into your authentic self? If you've ever struggled with this, you're not alone. The journey to authenticity is one of the most empowering transformations you can undertake. And it's not just about dating, it's about living a life true to your principles and values. 3. Avoid falling too quickly. Have you ever met someone new and felt an immediate spark? Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, and suddenly you're daydreaming about a future together after just one conversation. It's exhilarating, isn't it? But here's the catch. How often has this rush of emotion led to disappointment? How many times have you poured your energy into someone who wasn't really right for you? Let's pause and ask, what's driving this quick attachment? Is it genuine connection, or is it infatuation fueled by surface-level attraction? Falling too fast is a common trap, especially for men who identify as nice guys. The moment they meet someone they're drawn to, they dive in headfirst, committing their time, energy, and emotions without truly getting to know the person. And more often than not, this leads to heartbreak. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote: self-control. This ancient philosophy teaches us to temper our initial impulses and approach life with thoughtful deliberation. When it comes to relationships, this means resisting the urge to rush into emotional commitment. Instead, take a step back, observe, and evaluate. Are you truly interested in her as a person, or are you simply reacting to the excitement of something new? Here's why this matters. Most people need time to reveal who they truly are. That charming, funny, and seemingly perfect persona you see in the early stages. It's often just the tip of the iceberg. Rushing in can blind you to potential red flags or fundamental incompatibilities. By falling too quickly, you risk investing in a relationship that might not align with your values or long-term goals. Imagine meeting someone at a party. She's captivating, and you're instantly drawn to her energy. Instead of immediately fixating on the possibility of romance, focus on getting to know her. Ask questions. Listen to her stories. Observe how she interacts with others. What are her values? What drives her? By slowing down, you give yourself the chance to build a connection based on substance rather than fleeting emotion. Falling slowly doesn't mean withholding your feelings or playing games. It means practicing discernment and ensuring your emotional investment is proportional to the depth of the relationship. Think of it as building a foundation. The stronger and more deliberate the foundation, the more stable the structure will be. This approach doesn't just protect your heart, it also enhances your appeal. Women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit self-control and emotional maturity. When you don't rush to fall head over heels, you communicate that you value yourself and your time. You're not desperate for a connection. You're intentional about the connections you choose to pursue. But what if you find yourself slipping into old habits, caught up in the excitement of a new connection? This is where Stoicism can be your guide. Remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius' wisdom. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When emotions start to cloud your judgment, take a moment to reflect. Practice patience and trust that true connection takes time to unfold. In slowing down, you'll discover something remarkable. The joy of truly getting to know someone without the pressure of instant commitment. You'll gain clarity about what you want and need in a partner, and you'll be better equipped to recognize when a connection is worth pursuing. Most importantly, you'll free yourself from the cycle of quick infatuation and inevitable disappointment. Remember, lasting attraction isn't built in a day. It's a journey, and like all worthwhile journeys, it's best taken one step at a time. Let her reveal herself gradually and allow your feelings to grow in tandem with the relationship's depth. This deliberate approach will not only enhance your romantic prospects, but also cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence. Ready to break the cycle of falling too quickly? Let's move forward and explore the next step in building meaningful, authentic connections. 4. Stop doing too many favors. Think about this for a moment. How often do you find yourself saying yes to everything she asks? Whether it's helping her move, running errands, or canceling your plans just to be available, you're always there. On the surface, this seems like the ultimate way to show your care and reliability. But have you ever stopped to consider how this constant willingness might actually affect her perception of you? The truth is, doing too many favors can backfire. It's not that helping someone is inherently bad, quite the opposite. However, when your acts of kindness come at the expense of your own time, priorities, or self-respect, they lose their value. Instead of being seen as thoughtful and considerate, you risk being perceived as someone who lacks boundaries, or worse, as someone who's trying to buy affection through service. Here's where Stoicism offers a crucial insight. Self-respect and personal boundaries are non-negotiable. A Stoic man knows his worth and doesn't compromise his integrity or well-being for external validation. Helping others is virtuous, but only when it stems from genuine willingness, not a hidden agenda or fear of rejection. Let's paint a picture. You have a friend, Alex, who is always at his girlfriend's beck and call. Whenever she needs anything, whether it's fixing her car, picking up groceries, or handling a work task, Alex drops everything. At first, she appreciates his efforts, but over time, she starts to take his constant availability for granted. Instead of seeing him as a confident, self-assured partner, she views him as someone who's always eager to please, even at his own expense. Now contrast this with John. John is also kind and helpful, but he has clear boundaries. When his girlfriend asks for help, he assesses whether he can do so without compromising his own commitments. If he's available, he's happy to assist. But if he's busy, he politely declines and offers to help another time. John's approach demonstrates self-respect and balance, which in turn earns his girlfriend's respect and admiration. Here's the key takeaway. People value what they have to earn. If you're constantly giving, without limits or conditions, your actions may lose their significance. Instead of fostering appreciation, you might be encouraging dependency or even resentment. So how can you strike the right balance? Start by evaluating your motives. Are you offering help because you truly want to, or are you hoping to gain her favor? If it's the latter, pause and reconsider. Practice saying no when a request conflicts with your own needs or values. This doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-aware. Setting boundaries isn't just about protecting your time, it's about reinforcing your sense of self-worth. When you prioritize your own well-being, you send a powerful message. I value myself, and I expect others to do the same. This confidence is incredibly attractive and lays the foundation for healthier, more balanced relationships. Remember, true connection isn't built on a ledger of favors. It's built on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine companionship. By maintaining your boundaries, you not only enhance her respect for you, but also create space for her to step up and contribute to the relationship equally. Let's move forward with this newfound understanding and explore another common trap: leading with material possessions. 5. Avoid leading with your wallet. Picture this. You pull up in a flashy car, wearing the latest designer suit, and casually drop hints about your high-paying job or recent exotic vacation. You think to yourself she's going to be impressed. And perhaps she is, but not in the way you might hope. You've just positioned yourself as someone who relies on material wealth to stand out. The question is, what happens when the allure of the shiny objects fades? Leading with your wallet is a common mistake, particularly for men who feel they need an edge to capture attention. Yes, financial stability can be attractive. It signals responsibility and capability. But let's be clear. Throwing money at someone or flaunting your status isn't a substitute for genuine connection. In fact, it often creates the opposite effect, reducing your value to what you can provide materially rather than who you are as a person. Here's the problem. Material possessions might capture initial interest, but they rarely sustain deeper attraction. Once the novelty wears off, what remains? A Stoic man understands that true worth comes from character, not from what he owns. Marcus Aurelius reminds us the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In other words, it's your inner qualities, your values, your confidence, your authenticity that truly define you. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, you take her to an upscale restaurant, order the finest wine, and spend the evening talking about your career achievements and luxurious lifestyle. In the second, you choose a cozy cafe, engage in thoughtful conversation, and genuinely listen to her stories. Which interaction do you think leaves a lasting impression? It's not about how much you spend, it's about how you make her feel. Women are drawn to men who exude confidence, purpose, and emotional intelligence. These traits can't be bought, they're cultivated through personal growth and self-awareness. So how do you shift the focus away from material wealth and toward your intrinsic value? Start by embracing simplicity. Choose experiences over extravagance. Show her that you're comfortable in your own skin, whether you're dining at a fancy restaurant or enjoying a simple walk in the park. Let your conversation, your humor, and your genuine interest in her take center stage. This doesn't mean you should hide your achievements or financial success. If you've worked hard to build a stable life, that's something to be proud of. But let those aspects of your life reveal themselves naturally, as part of the bigger picture of who you are. Don't rely on them to define your worth or drive the connection. In doing so, you'll not only attract women who appreciate you for who you are, but also create relationships rooted in authenticity and mutual respect. And that, ultimately, is far more valuable than anything money can buy. Let's keep building on this foundation as we move to the next crucial lesson in navigating relationships with wisdom and strength. 6. Don't just tick boxes. Have you ever asked a woman what she looks for in a partner? Chances are, you've heard something like, "I want someone who's kind, a good listener, supportive, and sensitive." And if you're like most men, you think, perfect, I'll just be exactly that. So, you mold yourself into the ideal partner she described, ticking every box on her list. But here's the kicker. Despite your best efforts, the spark just isn't there. Why? It's because attraction is more complex than a checklist. While qualities like kindness and attentiveness are valuable, they're not the sole drivers of romantic interest. What many fail to realize is that attraction thrives on chemistry, excitement, and a sense of challenge, things that often aren't explicitly mentioned but are deeply felt. Let's take a closer look. Imagine you meet someone and, in an effort to impress, you agree with everything she says. You anticipate her needs before she even expresses them. You're always available, always accommodating. But instead of feeling drawn to you, she starts to feel like something's missing. There's no tension, no intrigue, just predictability. Here's where Stoicism steps in to shift your perspective. This philosophy encourages living in alignment with your true self, not bending to meet others' expectations. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic thinker, reminds us, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. In relationships, this means presenting your authentic self rather than a curated version designed to fit someone else's template. Being a good listener or a supportive friend is important, but don't let these qualities overshadow your individuality. Share your own opinions, even if they differ from hers. Bring your passions into the conversation. Show your playful side, tease her a little, challenge her perspectives. This dynamic creates a sense of unpredictability and excitement, key ingredients for building romantic tension. Consider this. Would you rather be remembered as the person who always said yes and blended into the background, or as someone who sparked memorable, engaging conversations and left a lasting impression? The latter doesn't come from ticking boxes. It comes from being unapologetically yourself and letting your personality shine. Think about your most captivating interactions. They probably weren't the ones where everything was perfectly agreeable and smooth. They were likely moments of shared laughter, playful banter, or even light-hearted debates. These experiences resonate because they feel real and unforced. So, the next time you're tempted to mold yourself into someone's ideal, pause. Ask yourself, am I being authentic? Am I sharing the best, most vibrant parts of myself? When you let go of the pressure to tick every box and instead focus on building genuine connections, you create space for real attraction to grow. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found yourself trying too hard to fit someone's expectations? How did it feel? And what did you learn from the experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this resonates with you, hit that like button to let me know we're on the right track. Your engagement helps us continue these conversations and build a community of confident, authentic individuals ready to embrace Stoic wisdom in their relationships. Let's keep exploring together as we uncover more principles to transform your approach and lead you toward deeper, more fulfilling connections. Ready for the next step? Let's dive in. 7. Don't wait for a chance. Create one. How many times have you found yourself waiting for her to make the first move? You linger in the background, hoping that if you're patient enough, she'll notice your quiet efforts and reward you with her attention. Sound familiar? This passive approach, while well-intentioned, rarely leads to the connection you're seeking. Why? Because attraction often requires action. Here's a crucial truth. Women appreciate a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to pursue it. Confidence and initiative are attractive because they signal decisiveness and self-assurance. When you take the lead, you show her that you're not just a passive observer in your own life, you're an active participant who's willing to take risks for what he desires. Let's turn to Stoicism for guidance. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control. In the context of relationships, this means taking charge of your actions and seizing opportunities instead of waiting for them to fall into your lap. As Epictetus famously said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The power lies in your hands. Picture this. You're at a social gathering, and you notice someone who catches your eye. Instead of standing on the sidelines, waiting for her to approach you, take a deep breath and make your move. Introduce yourself with confidence, strike up a conversation, and show genuine interest in getting to know her. Even if the outcome isn't what you hoped for, you've taken a step forward and demonstrated your willingness to embrace uncertainty, a hallmark of a Stoic man. The same principle applies beyond the initial encounter. In your daily interactions, don't just wait for her to suggest plans or show signs of interest. Take the initiative to invite her out, plan unique experiences, or share something meaningful. This proactive approach not only sets you apart but also shows her that you're invested in building a connection. The fear of rejection often holds men back, but here's the thing. Inaction is the real enemy. When you hesitate, you surrender control to circumstances. By stepping up, you reclaim your agency and show her, and yourself, that you're willing to take a chance for something worthwhile. So, stop waiting on the sidelines. The next time you're tempted to wait and see, challenge yourself to act instead. You'll be surprised at how liberating and empowering it feels to take control of your own story. 8. Avoid waiting for applause. Here's a question. How often do you find yourself wanting recognition for your efforts? Maybe you've helped her out in a big way, planned an amazing date, or simply been consistently kind and attentive. And yet, when the applause you anticipated doesn't come, you're left feeling unappreciated or even resentful. Why does this happen? The desire for validation is natural, but when your actions are driven by the need for external recognition, you set yourself up for disappointment. True kindness, as Stoicism teaches, is not transactional. It doesn't seek rewards or praise, it flows from a place of inner virtue and strength. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." This means your goodness, your acts of kindness, your generosity should be its own reward. When you act with integrity and without expectation, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of external validation. You become grounded in your own values, not in the fleeting approval of others. Let's reframe the situation. Instead of expecting her to notice and acknowledge every thoughtful gesture, focus on the intrinsic value of what you're doing. Did you help her because you wanted to make her life easier? Did you plan a special evening because it brings you joy to see her smile? Let that be enough. Interestingly, this shift in mindset often leads to a positive side effect. When you stop seeking applause, you radiate a quiet confidence that others find irresistible. Your actions come across as genuine rather than calculated, which deepens the respect and trust in your relationship. So, the next time you feel let down because your efforts weren't acknowledged, pause and remind yourself, you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it because it aligns with who you are, and that's more powerful than any external validation. 9. Don't avoid relationship games. The games of dating, a term that often makes people cringe. You might think, I hate games, I just want honesty and straightforwardness. And while that's a noble stance, let's take a moment to explore what these games really are. At their core, they're not about deceit or manipulation. They're about navigating the subtle dynamics of attraction and building romantic tension. Think of it like this. In the early stages of a relationship, there's a natural dance of interest and intrigue. Each person tests the waters, offering hints of their feelings without fully laying all their cards on the table. This back and forth creates excitement, mystery, and anticipation, all essential ingredients for attraction. The problem with avoiding these dynamics entirely is that it can make interactions feel flat. If you reveal everything too soon or always play it safe, you strip away the sense of discovery and tension that makes getting to know someone thrilling. Stoicism teaches us to embrace balance and moderation. In relationships, this means understanding and engaging with the natural rhythms of attraction without losing your integrity. You don't have to become someone you're not or adopt manipulative tactics. Instead, lean into the playful aspects of dating, teasing, light banter, and moments of shared vulnerability. These interactions keep things dynamic and engaging. Imagine this. Instead of immediately responding to every message or always being available, you occasionally take your time, not to create unnecessary distance, but to show that your life is full and balanced. This subtle shift in behavior signals confidence and self-respect, making your presence even more valued when you do engage. The key is to approach this dynamic with authenticity. Playfulness and mystery don't mean withholding your true self. They mean presenting it in a way that invites curiosity and deepens connection. When done right, these games aren't about trickery. They're about fostering a mutual sense of excitement and discovery. Remember, relationships thrive on a delicate balance of openness and intrigue. Embrace the dance, and you'll find that it not only heightens attraction but also strengthens the bond you're building. 10. The problem with excuses. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, I'm not tall enough, I'm not handsome enough, or I'm not rich enough to attract the kind of woman I want? These thoughts might seem harmless at first, but over time they become a heavy burden, an endless loop of self-doubt and excuses. They're an easy way to shift responsibility, convincing yourself that your dating struggles are beyond your control. But let's challenge that narrative, shall we? The reality is this. Your physical traits or financial status are not the deciding factors in your success with women. Time and again, men of all shapes, sizes, and backgrounds build meaningful, romantic connections. What sets them apart? Confidence, self-awareness, and an unshakable belief in their own worth. Stoicism offers a powerful perspective on this. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In other words, you may not control your height or appearance, but you do control how you carry yourself, how you speak, and how you present your unique qualities to the world. Let's consider an example. Picture a man who doesn't fit conventional standards of attractiveness. Maybe he's shorter than average, or doesn't have the chiseled jawline that magazine covers celebrate. Yet, when he walks into a room, heads turn. Why? Because he radiates confidence. His posture is strong, his voice steady, his smile genuine. He engages in conversations with ease, showing genuine interest in those around him. He knows his worth, and that self-assurance makes him magnetic. Contrast this with someone who lets their insecurities take the lead. They walk into the same room, but their energy is different, nervous, hesitant, apologetic. Even before they speak, their body language broadcasts a lack of confidence. Which person do you think others are drawn to? The good news is that confidence isn't an inherent trait, it's a skill you can develop. It starts with challenging your internal dialogue. Every time you catch yourself making an excuse, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly beyond my control, or am I using it as a crutch to avoid taking action? Replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. I may not be the tallest, but I bring energy and humor to every room I enter. I may not have a six-figure income, but I live a life full of passion and purpose. Next, focus on building your confidence through action. Step outside your comfort zone. Practice initiating conversations, even if it feels awkward at first. The more you expose yourself to these situations, the more natural and comfortable they'll become. Remember, confidence is built through repeated experiences of facing fear and pushing past it. Women are drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who own their unique traits without apology. When you let go of excuses and start showing up as the best version of yourself, you'll find that your external circumstances matter far less than you once thought. Let this be your turning point. From now on, commit to silencing the excuses and stepping into your power. The path to meaningful connections isn't paved with perfection, it's built on authenticity, resilience, and a deep belief in your own worth. As we've journeyed through these 10 transformative principles, one thing should be clear. The path to meaningful, fulfilling relationships isn't about abandoning kindness or becoming someone you're not. It's about refining your approach, combining kindness with confidence, authenticity, and self-respect. Stoicism offers a timeless framework for this transformation, encouraging you to focus on your inner virtues and take control of what you can. Now it's your turn. Reflect on what you've learned here and start implementing these principles in your life. If any part of this resonated with you, let's keep the conversation going. Comment below with your thoughts and experiences. Don't forget to like this video if you found value in it, and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And if you're hungry for more wisdom on personal growth and relationships, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Thank you for being part of this journey. Remember, the power to change your approach and elevate your relationships lies within you. Stay true to yourself, embrace the journey, and let's continue to grow together.